welcome to my vlog. I'm Claire and this is Love Thread Sews. So welcome back if you are an existing subscriber and welcome if you are new. So today is my usual weekly Sunday sews. I'm going to talk to you about what I've been up to, what I've been sewing this week, what my up and coming plans are, and then a few little bits and pieces to share with you. So I hope that is okay with you. So today I'm actually recording this much later in the day than I normally would. It's now almost 8 p.m. It's a little bit later than I would normally record this, but today I have been at my sewing social, which is a monthly social that is run by Becky from What Beck Sews, and yeah, it was today, so I've been there for today. I had a few issues on the way home. Unfortunately I hit a pothole and burst a tyre, so I ended up having to wait for some roadside assistance to come and rescue me. That thankfully didn't take too long. It was about an hour or so. Thankfully the weather was quite nice, so I had managed to pull into a nice little village, and there happened to be a little park bench not far from where I'd parked, so I sort of pulled up and then just sat on the bench in the sun waiting for my assistance. And all they did was just put a temporary tyre on because my tyre was completely blown. We now need a new tyre. They put a temporary one on just to get me home. He followed me home and then swapped it back over, so I now have a car sat outside with a flat tyre and we need to get a new tyre, which is a little bit of a pain, but anyway, there you go. But other than that, I've had a really lovely day. We missed our sewing social last month. So this month it feels like it's been a long time coming, so it's been a couple of months since we've seen everybody, so it was really lovely to spend the day with everybody today and just have a little bit of a catch up. And a few people bought things for the swaps table, a few people bought sort of items of clothing that they no longer wear or no longer fit. I bought some de-stash fabrics with me, and then we also had a little pop-up fabric shop there, which is the Fabric Obsession, which is a fabric shop run by Becky and Adele. I will link their details below, so if you are in the market for some affordable, beautiful quality fabrics, then I would definitely go and check them out and see what they have got. I have a fabric from them to share with you today as well on my vlog, so I will share that in a little bit. But before I get started, I will just share with you what I'm wearing today. So I have on a Donny shirt, and this is in a lovely viscose. I think this was from Sister Mantaka a while back, but I love the colours in this, and I've paired it with a pair of Ash jeans, which in this kind of khaki green, and I think it goes quite well with my shirt. So that is what I'm wearing today, and this is nice and sort of lightweight and loose, and yeah, really nice. And I've actually paired it with some sapphire frill earrings which I bought from them recently, and I thought they kind of matched in quite well with the colours on the shirt. So that is what I'm wearing today. So what have I been sewing this week? Well, first of all, I know I've got something here in the background. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. But the last week I've been working on my coord set for the Sew Together for Summer challenge, and that is a challenge on Instagram that's being run by Jen from Jen Leg Sews, and also Susie from Sewing in Spain. So there is a hashtag for this challenge, which I will put across the screen at the bottom. And the idea this year is to make a coord set. So I had talked about this in my previous video where I was planning on making a coord set with some fabric that Jen had actually gifted me. So I have finished that, and it's actually 3 pieces. So first of all, I've got the trousers, which they're just on a hanger, so it doesn't look sort of that too much here. They're just a basic trouser with an elasticated waist, and these, as I previously mentioned, Jen had actually kind of half made these trousers, and when she gifted me the fabric she threw in this pair of trousers just in case it was something that I was interested in. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make them up Thankfully they actually fitted me quite well. I just had to turn over the top waistband, put some elastic in. I had to finish all the seams, and then I chopped about 5 inches off the bottom of them. Jen is a lot taller than I am. And then I have made 2 tops to go with it. So first of all, I've got the Ashton top here. So I had this one cut out. This is actually in the B cup option, and this is the size 12. So I'd gone down to the 12 in this. And because it's in the viscose and it's a much floatier fabric, it actually fits really, really nicely. So I know when I made the more structured version in a cotton, that felt a little bit more snug across the chest. This one doesn't at all, so it's nice and floaty. And yeah, this is really nice and lightweight for summer. I've got a nice little tag in there, and also some specky seamstress binding which I've put around it. But yeah, that is really really nice. And then I also made a saguaro top from Friday Pattern Company. You'll notice it looks slightly different, and that is because I cut 2 back pieces. So the back piece, well, as you know, the front, if you know the pattern, the front piece is kind of quite a low V and it crosses over, and I have made that before. It's a little bit too revealing for me, so I really wanted to try the option of cutting 2 back pieces. So that's what I did. You'll see that the front is very slightly lower, and that was because obviously because it was a back piece, the neckline at the back comes up a little bit higher, and I thought that might be a little bit too high here, so I did on that particular front piece, I did lower the neckline slightly, which worked perfectly. I kept the sleeves pretty much as they are. I did actually mean to lengthen the pattern slightly because it is quite kind of cropped, and I don't tend to wear cropped items really. You've got the elastic. Now the elastic isn't super elasticated or stretchy on this particular one. I didn't want to pull it in too tight, so it's just very slightly kind of gathered. But yeah, I forgot to lengthen the top. It was only after I'd cut it out that I remembered. So, but I think it actually looks really nice, and I will pop in a couple of pictures of me wearing the garments in 2 different ways, so with the 2 different tops. And to be honest, I thought I would prefer the Ashton top with them, but I think I actually prefer the saguaro top with the trousers. I think they look really nice together, and it's a super summery sort of make. So if our summer does continue, then hopefully I'll get a little bit of wear out of it, although I do think it will also be a nice kind of holiday outfit, and I do have a holiday coming up towards the end of the year, so I think that will work out quite well. So yeah, that has worked out really well. So that's pretty much all I have sewn this week, and obviously I mentioned that I was at my social today, and the item in the background here, I have talked about this in my previous videos, and this is the Nomi 2016 pattern, which I will just grab quickly and show you what that looks like. So this is the Nomi 2016 Mimi G pattern, and this is by Butte J'adore. I'm making this version. I have made this once before, and I'll just show you the line drawing quickly. As you can see, it's got a little bit of shaping here on the skirt, and it's got these nice big kind of puffy sleeves. So it was all cut out last week or the week before, and I decided to take this to my sewing social and sew this up. So this is how far I've got so far with it. So I've got the first part of the skirt on, and then obviously you can see this bit here is where you then connect the kind of shaped part of the skirt in. It's got these nice kind of pockets here. I don't know how well you can see those. And then the zip is the next thing to go in. So that is how far I've got. It's not completely properly pattern matched at the back, but I don't think it looks too bad. Yeah, and that's as far as I've got. So the fabric's quite crazy really, isn't it? I quite like what I've done with the front, with the pattern matching. with the sun on it, which some people think looks a little bit like a fried egg. And somebody said to me today that they thought this fabric reminded them a little bit of the Care Bears. So, and that wasn't meant in a horrible way at all. It was just, you know, it's just kind of what it reminded them of, and I think they're kind of right in a way. It does feel a little bit like that. So I hope it doesn't look too sort of crazy when it's on and when it's all finished. But yeah, I'm hoping that it will look nice enough that I can get some wear out of it. But I do think it's going to be quite nice, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So when I was at my sewing social today, I did pick up a couple of bits while I was there. So I thought I would just share those with you. And I picked up this fabric off the swaps table. So it's this lovely, it's kind of like I think this might be kind of like a viscose type jersey, or some kind of, just gonna try and bring it a little bit closer and show you. So it's got quite a lot of stretch, obviously on a single layer up at the light you can kind of see through it a little bit, but against the skin you can't. But yeah, it's quite stretchy. But I thought the colours in that were really lovely, and obviously that's my sort of colours. Oh, look at that red, it's just gorgeous. So I have to have a little think about what to make with that. There's quite a lot here, so possibly some kind of a jersey dress might be quite nice. But yeah, I'll have a little think about what to make with that. A couple of people had brought along some items of clothes that either no longer fit them or they just don't wear anymore, and I picked up this dress, which is I think this is an indigo dress. It's kind of full length. I probably need to shorten a little bit. I'll just try and stand back and show you. It's quite roomy. I may possibly take it in slightly on the side, or the other option, because I need to shorten it, I could probably, the fabric that I take off the bottom, I could probably make some ties out of it, just open up the side seams and then maybe put some ties in it just to bring it in a little bit. But I thought the colours in that were really nice, and I think it quite suited me. So that was a nice little item to pick up. And then Becky has a little shop called Jazz and Wow. You may already know about it. And she had her little pop-up shop, and I picked up this pair of earrings which I thought were really lovely, and they are these kind of yellow and orange suns. In fact, they probably go quite well with this dress, I think. But I really liked those, so just bring those a little bit closer again. So yeah, I picked up those, just the one pair of earrings, and then Becky very kindly gifted me some buttons, because she said, I think these are very you, and they are these lovely kind of square red buttons, and she's right, they're absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Becky. That was really lovely of you to gift those to me, and I will definitely make use of those. So they are the couple of items that I got from Jazz and Wow. And then I also picked up one piece of fabric from the pop-up shop, which is the Fabric Obsession. So as I mentioned, Becky and Adele have started up a little fabric sort of shop. They are selling fabrics at the Sewing Social, ours, and then I think also Adele has her own Sewing Social, so they sell them there as well, and also online. So if it's something you're interested in, then I would highly recommend popping over and having a look at their shop. But this is the fabric that I picked up from them, so it's very floral. I don't always go for lots of floral, but some florals I do love. Like Adele said to me, this one is kind of like a tropical floral, so I think she's quite right with that one. But I just love all these colours in it, and I thought it was really pretty. So I actually bought a couple of meters of this. It was, I think, £10 a metre, so I think that was quite reasonable. It's a lovely quality sort of jersey, and I sort of have kind of something in mind for it, and it is the, so the Weekend Sewing Club, which I am helping out with at the moment. That is a, I've mentioned it a couple of times on the vlog, and it is run by Sarah from My Handmade Wardrobe, and she has started up this little venture with a new sort of challenge called the Weekend Sewing Club. And this month's pattern is a lovely little sort of simple top, front and back both cut on the fold, and then you can wear it as a top, a tunic or a long dress, and it has kind of like side ties just to bring it in a little bit. So the subscriptions for the Weekend Sewing Club have reopened. They open on the 20th of every month and run from the 20th I think to the 30th or something like that. So you have kind of like that amount of time to sign up if you want to sign up for it. You can sign up and then cancel your subscription again, or you can sign up and carry on, obviously, with the monthly subscription. But the pattern this month, as I mentioned, is sort of like a top or a dress. Now I am making a sample of this for Sarah, and she has asked me to make the tunic length version with a round neck. So I haven't actually started it yet. I need to get that done this week ASAP, but I'm actually making it in this fabric here. So I've got quite a lot of this. This is almost 4 meters. This is a viscose jersey, so the top for the Weekend Sewing Club can be made in jersey or woven. So I've decided to make it in a jersey, and I've picked this kind of viscose jersey. I bought this from one of the sewing shows, and it was actually from the Lady McElroy stand. So I'm not sure if it is a dead stock fabric that they were selling, or if it is actually a Lady McElroy fabric. I'm not entirely sure, but it's really lovely quality. There's quite a lot here. It's almost 4 meters. I don't need 4 meters for the project, but I kind of thought this would actually be quite nice for that top, because it's quite a plain sort of simple silhouette of a top. I thought if this works out quite nicely, then it might be quite a good top for kind of work. That's what I kind of envisaged. So I'm going to see how that turns out. But if that turns out quite nicely and I like how it looks on me, then I think I will then maybe cut another one out in this fabric. So that was kind of what I was thinking for this particular fabric, but we'll see how it goes, and whether the top actually fits me well or looks quite nice. So yeah, that's going to be a kind of a watch this space really. And then the other things I've got to share with you is I received some fabrics this week from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. Now you may, or if you've watched a few of my vlogs now and you saw the one where I went to Andrea's shop, you will have seen that I shared that she's got some new fabrics coming out, and they were, at that time, they were on pre-order. Well, the fabrics have all now arrived and they are available on her website. So she's got this new fabric range called Summer Carnival, and these are all the fabrics across the front of this card. And actually she sent me a little sample of each of the fabrics on this card as well. So you've got this lovely one. Now Andrea's actually made something up in this, and it is not one that I would normally go for because of the pink background, but it looks absolutely stunning, and it's so tempting to, you know, go for something like that. But I've bought 2 and it's not that one, so I'll show you the ones that I bought in a minute. You've got this lovely one. This is just a little snippet of it. That's got lots of colourful flowers on. You've got this one here, which is kind of like pink, lilac, red and orange. And then you've got this kind of green style one. I think this one's been quite a popular one for a lot of people. You've got this one with the white background and lovely colourful flowers. And then you've got this kind of multicolour animal print one. So I wonder if you can guess which ones I went for. So first one that I went for was this. So I have actually bought 3 meters of all of these. So I had pre-ordered them and they have arrived this week, and the quality is absolutely stunning on this. So I think they are all, does it say on here? No, it doesn't say on this little card, but I think they're all like, they're all viscose, and I think they're all like an Eco Vero kind of viscose. They're all opaque, so there's no worry about being able to see through them, and the colours are as stunning as they look here on the camera. And they're just absolutely beautiful fabrics, so I'm really excited to have them. I'm just not sure what to make with them yet. I kind of want to do I want to do it justice, really. So yeah, have a little think about what to make with them. And the other one I purchased was this one, probably no surprise, a little bit of animal print, and you can see all of the different colours there, and I think it is just absolutely beautiful. Like I said, the quality of the fabric is absolutely stunning, so I'm really excited that I've now got those, but I want to make sure that I get the right project and, you know, kind of do the pattern justice. So I have a little think about what to do with those. And then while I had placed that order, I also picked up a bag kit. So Andrea has had these bag kit panels, which unfortunately I don't think they're in stock anymore. I'm not sure if she will be getting any more or not, so you might need to keep an eye out for that. But she had about 5 or 6 different designs, and they were these kind of pre-cut bag panels, and you get a full kind of panel. It has all the pattern pieces on. In fact, if I hold it up, I can show you what it looks like. But it's these, this is the one that I went for, with all of the bright colours on. So as you can see, you've actually got your pattern pieces on here, so you kind of need to cut them all out. You have all your instructions on the side of the panel, and then you've got like your bag handles here. It's quite a big panel, but this is what the finished bag will look like. So you have, the idea I think is that it's kind of reversible, so you can choose which side you have on the outside and which you have on the inside, or the other alternative is you could have, you know, make 2 and have both of them on the outside and then choose your own lining for the inside. So yeah, it's entirely up to you. That just tells you a little bit at the bottom what I'm not doing a very good job of holding this, am I? Tells you a little bit about what the pattern pieces are, and yeah, as I said, you've got all of your instructions on here, and then this is the other part of it. But what I was thinking about doing with this, before I cut it out, I think I might actually trace off the pattern pieces. So I might put a bit of sort of like tissue paper over the top and actually trace the bag pattern first before I cut it all out, and then basically I will then have the instructions and the pattern pieces, so that if I wanted to make it up myself in another fabric, then I will have that. So I think I'm going to do that first before I even cut the bags out, and that way I can kind of almost preserve the pattern and use it again. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do. But yeah, I really liked that kind of colourful one. There's a few different ones. I think there was one with a cow on it that seemed to be quite popular. Quite a few people had bought that one, but I really like this kind of colourful one, so that is the one that I went for. So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I wanted to share with you. Actually, I'm just looking around to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything, which I don't think I have. I'm just going to check my notes. Yeah, so pretty much what is next on my sewing plans. Obviously I want to carry on and get my dress kind of finished. The zip is next. I think I'm going to use this blue zip because I think that matches in quite nicely with the blue on the pattern of the fabric. So I'm going to carry on with that and get that done, and then I've got a couple more Ashton tops cut out, so I may well sew those up. But obviously, first of all, I need to get that top done for the weekend sewing club, so I'll probably be concentrating on that first, then possibly the Ashton tops. I've got 2 of those cut out, and I still have a couple of pairs of lane pants cut out, which I wouldn't mind getting those sewn up. But I can kind of do those in conjunction with each other, because, you know, they're the same pattern, so it kind of makes sense to sew them both at the same time. So that is probably what I'll be getting on with. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, and get this video up and edited, and hopefully that will be up ready for you from tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and I shall catch up with you again in my next video. But in the meantime, I hope you have a good week, you get some good sewing in, and I shall speak to you again very soon. Thank you for watching, speak to you soon, bye!